Hey, gang. Monday. Time to get started again. Time to go up the middle and take a look at both sides now. Jane's joining me in an hour. I have to go. It was one of those mornings where everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden you go for a dog walk and just never come back. Not too long ago, within the past couple of months, sometime this year, Barack Obama was on stage somewhere. And he just asked, I guess the clip that I saw was probably for at the end of whatever he was talking about. But he starts off with, now just imagine if I had done any of this. And the crowd laughs. And he says, no, seriously. And he goes through the list again, naming some of the things quickly by title. One of the things that's kind of fascinating, and this asshat still got votes, and I don't know if you can figure it out, but in that moment, I'm no longer talking about Barack Obama. And, oh, there we go. And, yeah, just imagine if Barack or W or Biden would have said something like this. Oh, I gotta share it. There we go. Why did that not open? What am I doing? There we go.
Get out and vote just this time.
Just this time. Okay, so maybe that's because he knows he's about to term out. I mean, what people need to realize is that he's already a lame duck. If we get enough independent and Democratic candidates into Congress in a year from now, he's done. And he knows that. That's what we're going to talk about today, is the redistricting he's trying to do in Texas. But just this time, now anywhere else, that would have made the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Maybe not yet. Maybe now.
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. I don't need any votes. We got all.
You won't have to do it anymore. Look, you and I can disagree on political theory. You and I can disagree on anything you want. That's fine. That's what's cool about this country. But do not tell me that it's okay for a presidential candidate to get on stage and say, you won't have to do it anymore. Oh, Katie's telling me I'm not on radio. According to this, I am. Let's take a look. You won't have to do this anymore. Oh, I know I'm not. I was testing over the weekend. Holy shit. All right, disconnect all. What I am on is the new Yerg's radio, as it soon to come out from Media CP. I'm not on any of the others. Thank you, Katie. Dare talk, there that. We're not on UG Media today. There's the Relia stream feed. Apply. Apply. Okay. And And are we on? Are we on? Why is it still yellow? Not liking that at all. Shady. Somebody took that down. Okay, but everything else should be good. And it's not. All right. These are all off today. We're switching. Streaming service providers. And I thought I was going to get this finished over the weekend and not have to renew. And I didn't renew, but I still need to do it. Thank you, Katie. Actually, I want to test something else too. Oh, she can't do that. I wonder if she's on there. I'll reach out to her that way. There's Scott. I don't see Katie online at all. Yeah, so actually, the ReliaStream feed is down, but their feed, their talk, and their Radio X is up. So they're not pulling off of me, I hope. Can you guys hear me, Scotty, Katie? According to this, we're connected to Dare Radio X and Dare Talk. Okay, good deal. I didn't know. Oh, there's others that are. Oh, son of a bitch! I've got to get on that today. That just changed my whole schedule because Derek and Remain take the old feed, and so does WZQR. I know they both play older. Well, Derek and Remain won't. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Well, I mean, it's obviously something I got to handle after today's show. Back from commercial. All right. So just imagine if any other presidential candidate said you'll never have to vote ever again. Who the hell says that? And then on top of that, who the hell supports a guy that says that? You cannot tell me that you will still sit there and call yourself an American after. And I get this is the photo that you're seeing, the backdrop of his speech is the Faith and Freedom Caucus. What the hell kind of freedom is that? And now he's starting to lose his base. Why? Because these sick fucks don't want to lose access to Jeffrey Epstein files. It's not because they're worried about losing their freedom and the choice to elect their representatives. It's because They want to see 2 or more old men screwing 12-year-old girls. You think I'm out of line for saying that? Come down here to Florida and see who it is that gets arrested for underage prostitution of various sorts, whatever the different types of violations they are. Come on down. Have a look. I'll tell you who it won't be. You're not going to see drag queens getting arrested for that. I mean, every demographic out there has the bad apples. But the Republicans down here have an entire orchard that went rotten. Hey, go lie down. My dog had more milk and water today than he can possibly handle. And now he's over rattling his sister's bowl. He's got to eat and drink upright, so I have to feed him. So if I'm away for an extended period, I have to put like the stool that he has and puts him up on the stool. But anyway, he's over there rattling his sister's bowl on the dish it's in like a stand, like a holder. And of course, it's a cast iron holder and a stainless steel bowl. It's like he's playing a drum set in the background. I'm like, dude, I'm on the air. So anyway, here's Donald.
All the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes.
We've got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. Maybe he should have stuck to the script.
Votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting. They're cheating again. And Elon looked at us. He goes, no, you're going to win. They just don't know it yet. And about 15 minutes later, we won. Sort of crazy. He was very effective.
Isn't that the irony? What have I been telling you? What have I been telling you? That this guy particularly, but MAGA Republicans and now even some other Republicans. I thought we were on the Discord. Well, let's get on Discord. No. I thought I would join that earlier and was able to let it go. There we go. Thanks for waiting, Superfan Ken. That's why I need you to be super producer and be here in the studio with me. Make sure my shit's squared away. There we are on that Twitter. And there's Insta. All right, we're happening. All right. So, there's rumors that Musk has come out in closed conversations and said the same thing. That, I mean, you're going to hear it in this one. Just listen to this whole thing.
And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good.
Yeah. So about Pennsylvania, this is the one I've heard multiple times. And of course, remember, I'm a starting point. And I want to bring better information to you, and eventually I will. But if you remember Election Day in Pennsylvania, there were at least 2 bomb scares. And if you look at the exit polls, or the numbers that were in exit polls, and the eventual tallies of when these happened, right during the bomb scares. During the bomb scares. In other words, while the polling places were temporarily closed, his numbers skyrocketed. That's a fact. That is undisputed. Now, he says that it's because Pennsylvania voted for him. None of what, remember the other thing I always tell you, always look at what you've got and then say, just like when you do a math problem in grade school, you know, Johnny has 3 apples. He gives Susan 2 apples. How many does he still have? Does my answer make sense? Does it make sense to you that a large influx of Trump supporters came to be tallied during a time where nothing was being tallied? Nothing. Not Trump, not Harris, nobody. And the thing about this is so unbelievable because it would never happen here. That when it does happen, it still remains unbelievable. What I would love to see happen is for this to continue to be researched by the right independent journalists, the people who are going to go and see what the actual receipts were, see that it was during the time when the polls were actually temporarily closed because of the emergency. And see that it's not possible. But then break that story on some foreign news outlet like BBC or Reuters. And then let the domestic ones catch up because they have to. And maybe release all the information that the initial investigative journalist found so it can be double-checked by the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Associated Press, and any others. So that they can more easily find additional information that proves this guy is a fraud. That's what needs to happen. That's how we tighten up.
It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon.
I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers, and I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust a computer program.
The last thing I would do is trust a computer program.
Because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one line.
It's too easy to add just one line. There you go. What I want to know is, when did Musk say that? Because he's
Just look at Pete Hegseth. Not one mistake.
Oh, I love Pete Hegseth. He's my old drinking buddy.
Surprise!
Yes, I asked Pete to give us a little rundown on one of our F-18 fighter planes.
Oh, is it bombing the Houthis?
Close. It fell off the aircraft carrier into the ocean.
What? Again?
Hey, Pete, you're not drinking again, are you?
No, absolutely not, sir. I promised I would never have a bottle touch my lips, but I do have some news to share. Before I do, Janine, you want to take a swig of this?
Oh, yeah, hold that.
Here
You
go.
know I do.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I accidentally added Kim Jong-un to the group chat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Just look.
So I don't know who is the guy that does Donald Trump now on Saturday Night Live. Oh, he's good. And yeah. And now Colin Jost, who does the Weekend Update, is they've got his hair salt and peppered like Hegseth. And now he's Pete Hegseth. That was good. All right, so but what does it take? How do we make that happen? How does an audit This is according to electionassistancecommission.gov, something I probably wouldn't really trust right now. A post-election tabulation audit, often known as a post-election audit or PEA, checks that the equipment and procedures used to count the votes during, let's see this one, an election worked properly. The audit also detects discrepancies using a hand count of paper records to ensure the election yielded the correct outcome. In states that conduct post-election audits, it is usually a statutory requirement. Legislatures can decide whether to require post-election audits in their states and what kind of audit to use. While the phrase post-election audit can mean a variety of election validation efforts, as a term of art, it refers to checking paper ballots or records against the results produced by the voting system to ensure accuracy. Paper records used in an audit may include voter-marked paper ballots, voter verification paper, audit trails produced by direct recording electronic voting machines, or paper ballot records produced by ballot marking devices. Typically, only a sample of the paper ballots of the paper records are examined, so in effect, a post-election audit is a partial recount of results to verify that a voting system is accurately recording and counting votes. That doesn't make any sense. Although post-election audits can lead to a full recount if errors are detected, they differ from a recount in that they are conducted regardless of the margins of victory. Recounts are most often triggered or requested if there is a tight margin of victory. And it gets into case studies and all kinds of other shit. But I guess there's issues with software, and there's whatever other issues there are. But what happens when it's hacked? Like both Donald Trump and Elon Musk said. Oh, wow. I mean, hang in there, everybody. It's Black Racer hatchling season. This is from Gulfport, Florida. These harmless, tiny little guys with their big googly eyes may turn up in your house. Please don't kill them. Just pick them up and put them outside. Unlike their feisty parents, these tiny noodles won't even try to bite you. This is Gulfport's most common snake. They eat roaches and invasive Cuban tree frogs in your yard. No Florida venomous snake has big round eyes like this. Please live and let live. Nothing like the hippies from Gulfport, huh? But I mean, seriously, if they eat roaches, and fortunately I don't have them here anymore. I had those big sons of bitches for a while, like the 2-inch long sons of bitches. And you're going to possibly get them because of the trees that I've got. I've got palmetto trees. So you're going to get palmetto bugs, which is the 2.5, 3-inch long cockroaches. Trick is to not have them in the house.
For the first time ever, two brothers will be facing off against each other in the Super Bowl. Incidentally, two brothers in the Super Bowl is why my grandfather won't be watching.
So I don't know if you've caught this, but Saturday Night Live, Colin Jost, white dude, Michael Che is a black dude. And what they do is they write the jokes for each other. So the joke you just heard Colin Jost read was written by Michael Che. And they don't see it until Saturday night, until they do the joke. And yeah, that's pretty good. Because then you get to see the reaction, and Michael Che always writes this racist stuff about for Colin Jost to read, and he does sexist stuff for Michael Che because he's single and is known for dating white women, and so he does all those stereotypical jokes, and they actually do a pretty good job. It's pretty funny. Who is this? Had to mess with this dude at the gym. That's a gym? Looks like a ballet studio.
Ha! Gay! Hey, I told you stop saying that shit! Ha! Gay! Hey, I told you stop saying that shit!
So that's an apartment gym. That's in a common area of an apartment, and the guy's shirtless and in flip-flops. Okay. Whatever. All right, so I need to... Oh, this is good. This was another... one of the things that I started doing, I know we're getting a lot of new followers. I spent 21 years as a federal agent, a police officer for the United States government. Actually, more like a detective, but whatever. In an agency called the United States Secret Service. Those are the guys and gals who you see protecting the president and the vice president and some other people. We also investigate certain financial crimes and infrastructure type things and hacking. Well, I follow what my colleagues do to an extent. I've let it go. I don't consider myself a federal agent anymore. I'm retired. And for those of you who have followed me a little bit or looked into me before following me further, you'll see that for a long period of my retirement, I had long hair, like down my back. But one of the things that pisses me off, I get, like Hulk Hogan pissed off, is when I see any level of amateur, phony, or inappropriate conduct by federal agents, by state or local police. We are held to a higher standard, and it's for a good reason. And even in retirement, I still protect and defend the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Domestic means here within the United States that are violating the Constitution, especially if they should know better, like any level of the entire law enforcement community. Now, like this gym video that we see with the guy sticking his ass out and shirtless and looking all tougher than everybody else as he slams face first into a door, clearly a staged video. There are law enforcement videos out there that I believe are equally as staged. That's not what I'm commenting on. I'm commenting on surveillance video. I'm commenting on firsthand video, people who are there filming because of the nature of the event. That's what I make these comments on and assessments of. Last week, Sportcat and I talked about the kid in Jacksonville, how he supposedly had a knife and this, that, and the other thing. Well, you're not going to stab me from the front seat of your car unless I'm in the front seat of the car with you. But under no circumstances, when it's clear that he does not have a knife, does he belong punched in the mouth, not once, but twice. Both times while he's being restrained. The first by either a seatbelt and or the front driver's side car door. The second by not one, but two police officers who should also know better. And I'm not saying that kid isn't an asshole. Maybe he was. Maybe he was being a dick. Part of what we do as police officers. Punching him in the face because he got under our skin is not what we do. And it's what I call out. Some days, however, we have a win. We have a victory. And that's this one. Here are guys in tactical gear leaving a location. Now, what I'm wondering is if they were already there looking for somebody, and it was they either already weren't there. Like this is probably the end of what they were trying to do, but at least they're learning who to keep their hands off of.
Shame! 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 Shame!
So the agents in green, they're backing up. I don't know what to. I'm guessing the big white van in the middle of the street is their troop transport. But why are they just not continuing to go and to get out?
Hey, back up! Yeah, back up! Back up!
I just saw there on the side, on the left side of the screen, is one of their Suburbans. I would love to see what that says on his vest. So that weapon, that the weapon the guy in the front has with the big drum on it, that's a beanbag round. We used to have those in North Coventry Township. The initial shotguns that they had when I was a police officer were these things that looked like Tommy guns. There was a drum that the shotgun round was in, and it looked, very intimidating. The problem is, to reload that thing is like a 20-minute venture. So if you shoot that on the street and you unload it and you still need more, that thing's nothing more than a baseball bat. And that's when they switched to semi-automatic Benellis. But they kept them and used them for beanbag rounds, and that's what this is. That's a canister loader right there. That's a much larger round than a shotgun shell, and that's because it's shooting a beanbag at you that is gonna hurt. So that's HSI, who was in the, I can see that's HSI right there on the letters. I don't know what's on his shoulders. I don't know what markings they are.
Shame! 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 Shame!
Look at that old lady with her fist up in the air. There's a guy who's right off the driver's side door of, it looks like he's got a paintball gun. What they call a marker. They don't call them guns in paintball. It looks like it's a paintball gun.
Shame! 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 Shame!
See that? What is that? As always, I wanted to set up tone tips for today, and I just got so behind in editing everything for both sides now, with the exception of today's episode that starts in 18 minutes, is now edited and programmed to be dropped this week. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm getting caught up. But I didn't get any tone tips ready for today. I wanted to do that. I will definitely put these out on public media or social media.
Back up! Yeah, back up! That's right! That's right! Back the fuck up!
That's a paintball gun. That's a paintball gun. I'm going to try to back this up so you can see it. There's this one moment where he's turning, and it gives you like a side view of. That's a paintball gun. So this is the canister where the rounds are. The what do they call it? Is it a canister? It's like a quart of oil. It's a loose funnel. Actually, it's not a loose funnel. It's a funnel where the rounds are loose inside of it. And it funnels to the bottom, which feeds into the marker, into the gun. And the paintballs are just marble-looking, plastic-covered globs of paint. So it's like a rubber ball that's flying at you that when it hits you, it explodes like a water balloon. and you're marked. That's what that is. And in fact, that's the air canister, because it's not an explosion like in a firearm. The explosion is a blast of air. Similar if you were to roll up a piece of paper and stick it in a straw and shoot what we call a spitball. Same thing with a paintball, projected by air. So these markers have an air canister that's compressed air, and and a funnel that is stored paintballs. That is a paintball marker. That's a paintball marker. So now federal agents are using beanbag rounds. There you go. That side view. Let me get a screenshot of this. And I'll put this in the show notes too. That is a paintball gun. That red thing on the top, he's holding it pointed to the ground now. The red thing on the left, if he were to aim that at somebody, it would be on top. That's the funnel. Then there's a black canister on the side of the barrel. That is the air tank. We saw this already, but let's pick up from here.
That's right! That's right! Back the fuck up! Back up!
You guys are fucking Nazis! Get the fuck out of here! You fucking Nazis! God damn it!
Fucking cowards! Go! Yeah, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Fucking cowards! Cowards! Fucking cowards!
Nazi fucking
I thought
coward!
they got a.
That's right.
There's
That's
a news
right.
van.
Well, it is very exciting to be
Fucking shame! Shame!
back. The first
Oh, stop it. So that was one. I think I got another one in here. I send this stuff to myself so it's accessible on my computer. That's some of the new streaming feeds. Here's what's happening. Here's what's happening in Canada. I kind of want to share this with Jane because she'll get a kick out of it too. That's the story about the kid down south of me in southern Florida that had the wherewithal to record the Florida Highway Patrol, and I think it was ICE or maybe DC or HSI. HSI is Homeland Security Investigations. That's the guys in green that you just saw. ICE is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's Microsoft Teams. It was for a meeting. That is for the electric company. That was Stephen Colbert. We covered that last week. That's the guy who was caught watching porn. The right-wing Christian fanatic caught watching porn in a school board meeting. Yeah, because why not? All right, it's about 10 of. Let's go see what we got in chat here. Sandra Horn, thanks for the comedy in the chat. Sandra Horn's, I guess, trying to start her comedy career. The copper said to his belly button, "You're under a vest." A hot dog stand can take away the chair. I guess these are the bad dad jokes. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it. Okay. Well, Sandra Horn, everybody. I have no idea what they were. Do you know her? Superfan Ken's laughing. I guess he gets them. Nope. Well, thanks for checking in, Sandra. We appreciate it. As my dad would say, don't quit your day job. Valerie, checking in on Facebook. Thanks for that. Radio X mentioned me in a post. Probably that we weren't on the air for a little bit. Let's see what else. Oh, let's go back to me. There we go. I got oh, wow. Look at you. Oh, is that oh yeah, so this is a kid, Lawrence Tatum. I just saw this. I don't know why I was Facebook friends with it, but he was the guy who basically swindled $500 out of me to do, I think, what were he and the other guy supposed to do? Oh, I think they were getting, I think they were getting my, what is it? Wikipedia entry done. And they sucked. So is that a marlin or a swordfish? Do you guys know the difference? Yeah, here it is. Tatum Tech. Jaden. I wonder if that's... There's another kid that came and did my trees. Probably took me for a little. Oh, who's this guy? Jaden Arias. Oi. No, ma'am. I'm into men. Sorry. There's what the hell was his name? There's another Jaden. And I can't think of what his name is. Oh, we're live. Look at that. There we are. Let me take a break. When we come back, I'm guessing that oh, yeah. Ken's trying to get her to call in. Come on, you should know the number. Let me put it up here. There we go. Going to take a break. Maybe Sandra will come on and tell us some dad jokes. Soon after that, Jane Stahl will be joining for Both Sides Now. This is Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back right after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Hey gang, my name's Jurgs. I'm the CEO of the Jurger Group and Mastiff Media. We're partnering with Dare Media of Australia and are looking for new content. Do you have a podcast or maybe a live stream? Does it have a positive message? Is it about sports? Is it political? Is it news coverage? Is it for the LGBT community? Or is it even music? Don't forget, we're partnering with Dare Media of Australia. So not only could your program be heard on our stations here in the United States, but also in Australia. So if that's you, send us an email on air at jurgsradio.com. That's on air at jurgsradio.com. The jurgs.radio URL does not have email. On air at jurgsradio.com. And let's get you on air. All right. Let me put headphones back on. I'm checking out different. I just realized that I no longer have 666 people that I'm following on Facebook. The reason for that is I just followed Ahem Mayhem, one of the AM shows that is one of our afternoon shows here in the U.S. They're one of the AM shows from Australia that we pipe in. And now I have 667. So I got to find something that's either not producing anymore or something I really don't listen to. But all of the recent ones are stuff that I've added recently that are, very relevant to what I am, who I am, what I do, yada, yada, yada. Stuff that I want to keep, in other words. So I got to keep scrolling really fast to get through all of it. And what I do is I open it in a new tab so I don't lose my list. And go, who is this? What's it doing? Okay, what do you do? There's a picture of you and your dog. Yeah, it's cute and all. But hello. I hear Jane. I hear Jane. So, yep, we're back to 666. And it's time, as it is this time every week, to go up the middle with our friend. There we go. With Jane Stahl. Hey there.
Hey, good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's still morning for you, is it?
Yeah. 2 minutes. Well, it's been a rough morning. Everything, whenever you think everything's going fine, something happens, and there goes your morning. I had Matrix and Shady out for a walk. They don't usually get a big morning walk, but Matrix was giving me the signs like he had to go, and so I thought, all right, well, I don't want you getting upset stomach. Let's go. And then I see a neighbor, and then we get talking about some of the other things in the neighborhood. So we get talking, and then I come in, and they need water and milk and whatever to settle them down after a walk. And they want cookies, dog biscuits. I'm sitting down at like 5 of 11 trying to get things sorted. And yeah, that wasn't happening. I had to kind of wing the first hour. And then Katie from Dare Media in Australia says, "You're not on the radio." And I look at the encoder, the thing that puts us on the radio, and I go, "Yes, I am." Like, oh my God, no, I'm not. I'm testing a new streaming service that over the weekend. So when I went live on that new streaming service, I was not also going live on the ones that we normally use because that's got programming on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I never switched it back.
Uh-oh.
So I thought I was live and ready to go, and I was on one of like 8 stations. Like, anyway, I am caught up with editing for both sides.
Whoa. Really?
They're scheduled to drop. The first one will be right after we end today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm actually going to put this one in the mix because it's going to be sooner and more relevant and so on. And then the others will drop daily throughout the week so that they're set and we're caught up by next week.
That's fantastic. Good.
Yeah, so tell everybody to check out if they're podcast fans of ours. Tell everybody to check out later this afternoon, and they'll start dropping.
Will do.
Well, starting with, I think the first one to drop is going to be last week's episode.
Okay.
And then the second one, I'll do this one right away. And then we'll work backwards towards mid-June. Oh, I thought that I had these more caught up than what they were. Like, not only were they edited, but they were dropped on Spotify and wherever else. Some were just edited. That was it. I never dropped them. Like, oh my God. Oh, is the hell that's my life.
Well,
so how was yours?
One of these people in your chat says, Sandra Horn says, life is really simple, but we insist on making it probably she was more complicated. So my guess is that applies to your commentary.
Jokes. Yeah. No, she was telling dad jokes. She's got, she started off with this. She gave us like the heads up, like, here they come. And then the first one was, the copper said to his belly button, "You're under a vest."
Oh my. Okay.
Under a vest, like a bulletproof vest, under arrest.
Yes, I get it.
The hot dog stand, take away the chair.
I'm sorry. That one flew by me.
I know. It's like you're kind of still waiting for the punchline.
Yeah.
It was really simple, but we insist on making it.
Anyway. Okay. Anyway, here we are at both sides now at the first Monday in August. So
yeah.
I always hated to see August come around because that was the end of my summer vacation. But now I'm on vacation all the time, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, but how much longer do you have the pool available though?
What was that again?
How much longer do you keep the pool available?
It's open until the first week in October.
Really? You can go that long? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to stretch it out as long as I possibly can because every now and then there's a warm weekend and I can get in there and float around and, enjoy myself. I used to keep it open till the third week in October, but I was always risking a really wet, damp day when I had to get it ready for closing, like be out there in the rain and the damp and the cold, getting it ready for closing. And I decided I don't need to do that anymore. So now I close it the first week in October. Yeah.
I was just thinking too that you might get an early frost too.
I suppose so. That hasn't really happened of late, but one never knows.
Yeah.
So anyway, good morning, Ken. I see he bid me a good morning. So I always like to, say hi to our super fan. But yeah, so it's been a really lazy week for me. I've spent a lot of time floating,
Good.
catching up on my Time magazines. In fact, I finished finally all my Time magazines from last September, probably.
Yeah, you had said.
And then I delved into the issues I've received of the Atlantic that my
Oh,
son
yeah.
my son subscribed me to for Mother's Day. So I'm on my July issue of Atlantic, and then I will happily wait for the next one to come in, although I see a lot of articles and stuff like that digitally. But I do enjoy reading the magazines while I'm floating around the pool. That's really good. And in the May issue, oh my God, David Brooks had probably the best article I've ever read about Trumpism. And its subhead, Trumpism has replaced conservatism's core values with just one, the raw pursuit of power. And, I've read articles similar to that before, but this one was probably the best one that I've ever read. It's so well written and just so scathing. And I felt some sort of, I don't know, something. In reading words that duplicated what I saw to be the case. But what I really loved at the end of this article, it talks about, like what comes next. And it was hopeful, okay? Because I sometimes feel some guilt in not doing more to resist, shall we say. I don't go to rallies. I don't go to demonstrations. I don't write letters. I don't make phone calls. Okay. And I, feel guilty about that from time to time. I let my opinions known when I'm in front of people directly.
Yeah.
Whether it be our senators, whether it be our representatives, whether it be people, just in general. But the end of this article made me feel a little less guilty. Okay. It starts in the long term, Trumpism is doomed because it says he says power without prudence and humility invariably fail. Well, that's not the part that gave me hope. Okay.
All right.
What gave me hope is that he says, I see the forces of repair gathering in neighborhoods and communities. If you're part of an organization that builds trust across class, you're fighting Trumpism. If you're a Democrat, jettisoning insular faculty lounge progressivism in favor of it, in favor of a Whig-like working class abundance agenda, you're fighting Trumpism. If you're standing up for, if you're standing up for a moral code of tolerance and pluralism that can hold America together, you're fighting Trumpism. And I like to think that the work that I do in my community to demonstrate respect and honest appreciation for everyone with whom I come in contact, I like to think that makes a difference. And at my age and stage of life, that's what I'm willing to do. And I am hoping that it's enough. So anyway, I found hope in the article. I like the article because it gave voice to my feelings and my opinions. But I also like the article because it gave me assuaged a little guilt and gave me a little bit of hope for tomorrow. So I see you have my rose photograph up there. That was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging it today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Let me just tell our audience about it. That particular photograph of that single rose blossom, I took that photograph while Ginger and I were taking a walk in town. And as we were walking, there was this single rosebud, the one you see right there, on the pavement. Apparently it had fallen off or been dropped or something like that. And I thought, oh, what a shame. It was not in bloom at that point. It was still a bud. And I picked it up and continued on our walk. And when we got home, I forgot it and left it in the car. But later that day, I remembered it. So I ran out to the car and got it and cut the bottom off and threw it in water. And I was so delighted the next morning when I got up and it had blossomed, as if to say, thank you.
Yeah, really.
Thank you for not abandoning me. Thank you for appreciating me. And so what I did then, I wrote a little thing for the expression about how, it's important to appreciate little things, because that singular blossom gave me a smile. It was a moment of joy.
Absolutely.
In the morning when I saw it, blossoming. And then the Atlantic online had an invitation about little things, and with the suggestion to submit a photo and an explanation of 100 words or less about how something in the photograph gave you a moment of awe, and a little thing that created a moment of awe. And so I took it upon myself to submit the photo and 100 words. I think actually it was 99. And I had such a wonderful time condensing my explanation from like 120 words to 99. Anyway, and then as I am sitting on the deck on Saturday, scrolling through different articles and columns that come to my email from the Atlantic service, I saw my flower. And I thought, oh my God, they published my photo and my little explanation in the Atlantic, in something connected with the Atlantic. And I was just, once again, it was just a moment of celebration.
Yeah, and the Atlantic's,
so I shared it with folks like you who would appreciate it.
The Atlantic's a pretty big deal.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
And not only that, Ross, since I shared this with you, one of my friends said, oh, yes, Jane. And by the way, I saw it on Apple Plus News, which is a subscription service. Yeah. I understand. I did not know about this before, but a subscription service by Apple that grabs a piece from this magazine or that media connection or whatever. And, once a month shares these pieces from wherever, and my flower and my explanation or my little story was on Apple News Plus or Apple Plus News or whatever it's called. And I was delighted once again. I'm a big deal.
Yes, that's why I said, when I first saw you on the Backroom Network, the Backroom Show with Gary Williams, I thought, there's something about this. I've got to reach out and say hello. And we knew right away we were going to do something together. We just didn't know what it was. Well, here we are.
Well, I just love it. And I really want to thank you for sharing that among your, that was really, really good. So that was my fun for the weekend.
I got it. You know what? I can put
website. And now, Ross. And now what I did was I shared this, the posting on the Atlantic column. I shared it with a half a dozen or so of my friends just to celebrate with me for a minute. And what I challenged them to do is send in their photograph and a little article and a little story of 100 words or less. And hopefully if 6 or a dozen people do that, perhaps the Atlantic will say, what's going on in Boyertown?
Well,
and come to visit us, Wouldn't that be cool?
There's another way that you can also get out messages like that and tie it with the Boyertown area expression. Just today, I signed up for, let me get out of this for a second. There we go. There's Facebook. That's what I do in commercials. I signed up for. I remember when I used to look like that. Gravity takes over. Gravity takes over.
We would both enjoy.
What did I do with that? Did I? Oh, I don't think I saved it yet. All right. Well, let me just go here. Republic. There we go. This is a news service that I signed up for now for $15 a month. I can now be a contributor like I used to be with. Oh, what was the other thing? It was something exactly like this. Newsbreak. It wasn't Newsmax. It wasn't News. It was Newsbreak. It was a site like this, but within the past year or so, they eliminated all the amateur wannabes like me and made everybody reapply. And I didn't make the cut. Reporting on a house fire, reporting on an ambulance, whatever little bit I had at the time, I didn't make the cut. So, well, this is the same thing. You can monetize. You can put community events into a calendar. I think it's got to be like you may have to filter. If you were to do this, you may have to filter out some of the stories that the Expression does.
Expression.
Oh, you know what? Entertainment and culture. Entertainment, music, arts, environment. I mean, there's something here literally something in here for everybody. Human interest. I mean, why not, double up and post it in here too? And post, with a link to the Expression. And use this to get the Expression.
Could do that. Yep. Could do that. Could do that. So, yeah.
Politics and government, here's our favorite.
When I have a minute, I will get to it.
I was going to,
Don't hold your breath, though.
I was going to send it to everybody at Jurg's on that Jurg's radio.
Some pieces of my life, I like to do nothing.
Yeah.
Unlike my dear friend Ross.
I was just going to say, I even, I save, instead of like doomsday scrolling, as David Beckmeyer calls it, I now even make better use of my time. We'll just say in the bathroom. That's when I often reply to emails.
My gosh.
And whatever else, as opposed to just scrolling through hot guys in their underwear on Facebook.
Gotcha.
That's why.
Anyway,
on Friday, Matt was sending me things to post for during the show. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just share your screen? He starts giggling and goes, I don't want you seeing what tabs I have open. Okay. I know where you're going. Hi, baby. So the one political thing I did want to share with you today, Trump called the governor, I guess it's Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, and said, I want you to redistrict and find me 5 more seats. So Texas is now in the process of trying to redistrict and redraw their maps for.
They call that gerrymandering. Is that correct?
It's when you the shape of the district looks like a monster, and it's because it's been gerrymandered, as the term goes, to include the proper number of constituents,
registered Republican voters.
It's supposed to be just a particular number of voters. So say your state has 10,000 people and you have 10 members to the House of Representatives. You have to divide your state up into 10 sections with 1,000 people in each section. Now, if you've got a city over here in the corner that is 2,000 people, that's going to be 2 districts right there that are going to be perhaps just a couple blocks big. Over the other end of the state that's very rural, it's going to be a really big district because it's going to take you more land to garnish that, 10,000 or 1,000 people.
Right.
And it's just a very small example.
Okay.
But what they do is instead of making everything close by, they all have to connect, obviously, but they don't have to be in any particular shape. So they make it so that the 1,000 people per district, or whatever that much higher number is, are all of the same political party. That being usually done by the political party that's in power. In these cases, Texas, Republicans. But what they also do is try to split up the other districts that are heavily based on the opposing political party. By which giving them even more people, or the potential to turn red districts purple, pink, or rather, blue districts, Democratic districts, light blue or purple, making it 50-50, and giving their party a chance to win that district as well. The problem with the overall concept of gerrymandering is that it's legal. There's nothing prohibiting the actual process of gerrymandering. The only defense against gerrymandering is when it disenfranchises a particular demographic of voters. And political party is not a protected class. Ethnicity is, income is, but political party is not. So what California did, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, implemented an independent system that is what determines their federal political districts for Congress. And the reason he did that was he knows it's California, for as libtard as it's known for, it's actually about 50-50 in the various areas. And there's some parts of, as far as land mass, it is 50-50 because Northern California, like the wine country and up, is all Republican. It's just not as heavily populated as Los Angeles or San Francisco or San Diego, which San Diego is actually at least purple. He had it, I think it's put into the Constitution, so it can't be changed easily, that there's a formula used and it's done by an independent agency, not by a political party. And this was something that he wanted to see happen nationwide. And it didn't. And now Trump and Abbott are trying to get additional seats in Texas that would be Republican, so that the traditional loss of the House at the midterm, like we're projecting Trump will happen, we'll see, in 26, doesn't happen. Because what he's worried about is being impeached for the third time. Because he already knows I just saw again today, his approval rating has gone down even more. And so, he's learning that the executive orders are not popular. And so he's trying to protect his last 2 years in office so that, as we were talking about in the first hour, he can get 4 more years in office. Also blatantly unconstitutional. But when you don't pay attention to the Constitution, who cares? So the Democrats in Texas have fired back. And one of the things that they caught was that to make this gerrymandering happen, it must be during an official session of the legislature. But they were not in session when they tried to start this. So the Democrats left the state. They all walked out. So that, one, it can't be called into session. And even if it does, they don't have what's called a quorum, a minimum number of members present to start the session. So now they're in with they're up in
Chicago.
Yes. Yeah. They were in Chicago and talking with the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois. And I guess they're camping out there.
But Adam, what's his name? The governor of Texas said if they're not back by 3:00, he's throwing them out. They're not doing their jobs.
He can't.
He thinks he can.
Well, he's got to realize he's in a wheelchair. He can only do so much. One of the people talking in Texas is Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, she is the rather outspoken member, but actually intelligently done. She's not stupid.
I love her.
Yeah, very vocal on her points about Trump and his staff and so on. Yeah, correct. But I reached out to this guy, James Tallarico, and hopefully we'll be hearing back from him soon enough. He's also sharp. He is, I forget what it was. He got somebody twisted up in their testimony with regards to, I think it was pro-life, and basically admitted that, yeah, we want them to be born. After that, we don't care about them. But he's no dummy either. But he's one of the ones that walked out. He's in the state representative. He's not. Jasmine Crockett is in Congress. So he's one that's walked out, and former teacher also. Where is it? Where's his? A former middle school teacher and one of the youngest elected officials in Texas. I'm not afraid to stand up for Republican extremism. I've led the fight against their efforts to bully trans kids, ban books, whitewash our history curriculum, gut public education with a private school voucher scam, and force a Christian nationalist agenda onto the people of Texas. My mom was a firefighter. She fled abuse to protect me. And she told me that Democrats fight for the people, for the many against the powerful few, whether they're bullies, bigots, or billionaires. That's why I fight for Texas every day in our state capital. You know what he gets paid a year to be a state representative?
What was that?
Do you know what he gets paid per year?
No,
State?
I do not know.
$7,000.
Oh.
$7,000.
Oh.
That's it. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got people doing what I mean, they got like oil people and people that have other jobs that people are doing for them so they can continue and they're gerrymandering and shit like that. I sit back and I read stories like this and like the corrupt police that I see arresting people after they've been told that they're citizens, they're not illegal immigrants and whatever else, and making fun of that. And I go, is this the United States?
I know.
Is this our country?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I talked about in the first hour, is like, you and I can disagree. And that's why you and I can disagree on political policy or theory. That's what makes this country great. But when it gets to a party that tries to legislate morality and they turn around and break each and every one of those morals they pretend to be legislating, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, what bothers me is that it's so blatant.
Yeah.
I mean, firing the person, the woman who reported
It was
jobs
literally just a
numbers.
messenger. Yeah.
I mean, how? I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that.
Yeah.
About why that happened. I mean, you don't like what somebody says, so you fire them. I mean, without cause, without cause.
Yeah.
And this whole gerrymandering situation, I mean, it's so blatant. We're not trying to hide what we're doing anymore. It's just, watch me do it because I can. And yet, I sent something critical of the current administration around on my Facebook post. And, there's still one character in my friends list who just who just, is so still in support, despite what it seems to me common sense would reject. I just don't get it.
And that's what's hard. What do we do now? Do we? Because there is that small group that is starting to break away. Sadly, it took something like Jeffrey Epstein to do it.
That's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were okay with him pissing all over the Constitution for the first 4 years of his term? Now he does it again. You're still not upset? But now that you don't get to see what rich old man was having sex with 14-year-olds, that pisses you off.
That's the line in the sand. Yep. Yeah.
We'll take them because hopefully they don't have a short memory and that they're registered voters.
I don't know. Something will, yeah. It's hard to be hopeful. Let me say that. And when you ask, what do we do? It's like, I am staying, I just am doing what I'm doing because I feel pretty powerless everywhere else.
Well, that's what, of all the critiques I've had of the Secret Service during my 21 years there, that was one thing that I agreed with, and I was glad to see them point out. We all bring different things to the table. And you don't have to go to rallies or make phone calls or knock on doors to still be able to do your part. Your Facebook posts reach out to people. Your co-hosting Both Sides Now reaches out to people. And we're still doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in early up to middle episodes, you no longer have to be able to spell Google to be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
We can just keep pushing that message and giving people that reminder that if they are not checking their email when they're sitting on the toilet, and instead go to Google.
Anyway. So there was also, I just have to plug this as well.
Go ahead.
And, maybe future episodes we can talk a little bit more about it. But in the July issue of Atlantic, there is a that I just finished reading this morning, was an article about J.D. Vance and his whole history and what motivates him. And I found it fascinating, and I know people who are perhaps similar in their backgrounds and their experiences. And it was interesting to recognize that way of thinking, that way of the inspiration, the disgust that went from, what do you say, his first family background that
Right.
became a disgust for the elites whom he met along the way in the technology area and in his education, that he came to, while he aspired to that very early in his life, to get away from, his first family background and the abuses and, and hardships that he experienced there, and figured that getting a great education and meeting people of, of power and stuff would be a place of happiness for him. And yet he found it to be a disgusting place as well. And he sort of, the magazine article suggests, returning to his roots, in a sense, manipulating his roots, in a sense, or really, it was a fascinating psychological perspective that I picked up as a result of reading the article. And I suggest you read it. And maybe we can talk about it at some point. Maybe it's not worth talking about. It was just interesting to me because, like I said, I know people from his, who experienced the same sort of thing in their early life, who thought moving into a different circumstance and, operating with people of a different, what do you say? I want to say class, educational level, etc., thought that that would be the answer and would bring them, the satisfaction and joy that they were looking for. And they found that to be hollow as well. So it's interesting to me to watch him from this point on, to see how he justifies or comes to the table, what he will bring from both of the worlds he's lived in. It'll be interesting to see his journey. That's all. I'd love to have him on it. Be Inspired podcast.
JD Vance or the author?
Yeah. No, JD Vance.
Yeah. I know.
I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to publish it, but it would be an interesting interview. It would be an interesting conversation, because that's what my podcast is about. It's just a conversation. So.
Yeah. No, I've been on there, 2 or 3 times.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's always fun conversations. Fun. I'll subscribe to that. There's a theatlantic.com. And wow, he's on early. Sportcat's on. Go to the theatlantic.com to sign up. And I just searched JD Vance, and that's the article you're talking about from July 2025 issue. Now, I'm looking at that too. They actually do, it seems as though they do pseudo daily updates.
There's so much on there.
Yeah.
I love it.
There was another list that and it gave the dates of these stories here. It gave the dates with them, so you could see that it's a couple times a week that something comes out. So you don't have to get the printed version. And what I was liking about that too.
Well, I've been, for a couple of years, it would come through my email, different beginnings of stories. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I'd really like to read the whole article, but was too cheap to subscribe to it, to get everything. And then Jeff asked me, what do you want? I know you don't like gifts, but if you were to spend money on yourself, what would you spend it on? I said, a subscription to the Atlantic. So I'm thrilled.
So anyway. For $80 a year, I can get everything, as the print and digital without the complimentary tote bag, which I do not need anyway.
I didn't get one.
And well, actually, do you get the print version also?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Mhm. That's what
Yeah,
I've been
I
reading in the pool, and mine is all waterlogged. You can't tell.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all
I,
waterlogged.
I can save the $10 and just get, because what I like about this is unlimited access on any device.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can have it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not checking email. You know, in the bathroom, I can put it on the tablet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can log in right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Anyway. Yeah.
this weekend I can pirate the audio versions. Where I see narrated.
Yeah.
Listen to professionally narrated versions of the Atlantic long reads, including cover stories. I can put some of the shorter ones on Shady News Radio.
There you go.
With all the other
News
pirate
Radio.
things.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So, yeah. So what's coming up? That's what I wanted to talk about today. But
I'll subscribe to that and read that article, and we can talk about that next week.
Oh, good. And you'll let me know what you think.
I don't have a pen here, so I've got to pull it on my desktop to-do list. And I also took a note to send them a photo too.
Oh, good. Yes. Something that inspires awe.
I'm thinking of one, and with the write-up that I'll do.
Okay. Tell me about it. Yeah, let's inspire our listeners.
There's a photo that I have. You know what? I'll just do that. I'll send it to myself. There's a photo that I have. I was out. I thought I was on my jet ski when I took this, and I wasn't, because I realized where I was at. I would not have been on my jet ski close to this spot. But I hate when they redo, when Apple just says, "Oh, we got a better format. Let's do it this way instead." And then you're trying to find, like, well, I'm used to doing things this way. Now you got me everything changed around. I was out driving, and I think I was actually, this was before Zach drove, so I was taking him to work, and I stopped to get gas at the one place close to home, and I saw this. Now just let me.
I find it amazing that you can talk and do something else at the same time. I have lost the ability to do that.
I'm not as good as what I would like to be at doing that.
I used to be okay with it. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that anymore. I have to do one thing or the other, or else never mind. I can either talk or look for something. One of the two. But I can't do both anymore.
Oh, wow.
He's still looking for a photograph.
No, I found it. it.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm going to send it to myself on Facebook Messenger so I can open it here on the desktop.
Okay.
Take that away for a minute so I don't show any more guys in their underwear. Oh, there. Yeah, I remember when I had things like that too. Oh my God. All right. This was sitting on top of a telephone pole.
Oh, beautiful.
And for those on radio or any other audio-only platform, again, this photo will be in the show notes. It is an American or bald eagle sitting on top of the telephone pole. So that was...
Wow.
Up until this point, I had seen one bald eagle in the wild. It was flying, over top of a field along a highway while I was driving from D.C. to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, in I want to say February. Since I've moved here, I've seen almost a dozen in the 4 years that I've been.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're on the water pretty regularly.
Wow.
And usually, I think like late winter into the spring, because it's also a period when I don't see any of the ospreys. And now, like yesterday, I've seen a couple ospreys perched around in spots just like that, top of telephone poles, the top of sailboat masts, on the peak of a house roof, different places at vantage points along the water where they can scope out for food. And I think this guy or gal was just resting because it's too far off the canals.
So, what will your commentary focus on?
Probably just reminding me, and hopefully passing that along to remind people of what that bird stands for, and how if they were to be endangered, we're endangered too, and what we're in danger of losing. And it's not too late. We can. I don't know that they are endangered at all, or even remotely low or threatened. The bald eagle.
So, checking on the status of the bald eagle's existence.
Although the Fish and Wildlife Service removed the bald eagle from endangered status, the bird will still be protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act and the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act. Both laws prohibit killing, selling, or otherwise harming eagles, their nests, or eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the state with the most bald eagles, I would say Alaska. Yep. So we recovered the eagles, but throughout the lower 40, throughout the lower 48, except Michigan, Minnesota. Let's see. I'm not going to skim through all this. The recovery of the bald eagle is one of the most well-known conservation success stories of all time.
Oh, cool.
We continue to work with our partners in state and federal agencies, tribes, non-government organizations, and private landowners to ensure that our nation's symbol flourishes.
Well, that's a good analogy to hopefully future protection of our country and the Constitution and our way of life.
Yeah.
The values that we stand for need protection and can be lost and are endangered today, it seems to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
so I will be really interested in reading what you end up submitting to the Atlantic. And any of our listeners, should there be some now, please feel free to comment about what photo you might send in. Something that inspires awe. That is a little thing, perhaps, but brings you a moment of joy or a moment of realization about the beauty of the world or life or people or whatever. I think it's a really important thing now and again to help us to get to know one another better and appreciate one another better if we know what we love, what we value, what we find beautiful and inspiring. So
there we go.
If any of our listeners have photographs, we'd love to see them. And we'd love to read your stories. And we hope to see you in the Atlantic.
There it is. Well, there comes the... There you go. One story at theatlantic.com. Submit your photo.
Mm-hmm.
Move that off your chin. There we go. What else was I going to say about that? Something else. But yeah, I think I can do something in 100 words.
Mm-hmm.
Tells, when I saw that day. I've seen one on the water too. A friend of mine and I were on my skis, and we were going through this channel. There's channels that there's like streets in the water, and there's a telephone pole that's driven down into the water. And there's a flag on it, just a sign, and it's either red or green. And stay in between the poles. That's where it's dug out. And it's deep enough even at low tide. Well, in a jet ski, you're sitting in less than 2 feet of water anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we know we're not going to hit any rocks, so we can open it up a little bit. And my friend was ahead of me and going way too fast because he never saw that there was a bald eagle sitting on one of the poles that he just drove right past.
Oh.
He never stopped to take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I do, one of these with a head jerk.
Right.
And I just kept going so as to not spook it. But I stopped and turned around to try and get a photo of it, and I couldn't get my photo out of the watertight compartment, or get my phone out of the watertight compartment fast enough.
Before he took off, yeah.
Yeah, then I definitely did scare him off. But yeah, that was pretty awesome to see out there in the water. Telephone pole is still just as awesome, but it's not as sexy when there's other cars driving back and forth and not really
right.
caring.
Right.
But is that
so this week coming up, my calendar is really blank, and I'm very happy about that. So
good for you.
I have to decide whom I want to connect with, to catch up with what's going on in their lives, because it's so much fun to be part of something else. Yeah.
We have another super fan trying to connect.
Oh yeah?
Oh no, so let me do it. I hate this dashboard that Meta makes you go to.
Oh yeah?
I was trying to change away from the underwear scene. And then, so I thought I'd put the thing for one of the shows up, but Amy sent us something. Super fan Amy Stahl.
Okay. There you go.
Now it's going to take 20 minutes to load. This was Maga's
Did you want President Trump to win the? Did you want President?
Is Putin here now?
Who? What?
Is Putin here now? Oh, this was in 2018. Oh,
my goodness.
So this was when they were in Helsinki back in 2018. Putin was asked if he wanted President Trump to win the election. He said, yes, I did. So yeah, nothing's fixed at all. But it's not as relevant now as what I thought it might be. So, but I'll check that out.
The election, and did you direct any of Trump to win the election? And did you direct?
God, I hate that. It he's automatically when you try to get rid of it. Anyway, thanks to Amy for sending a blast from the past. Exactly where I want to leave Donald Trump. We're coming up on that time, and we got to check in with Sportcat quick too.
Okay.
Get on with your Monday.
Very good. It's been good chatting with you.
As always.
And I guess you'll take a break now and visit.
Yeah,
Visit
we'll see.
your next guest.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear us?
Yes,
All right.
I can. Can you hear me?
We had to finish our rambling before I brought you on.
Okay.
Hello, Jane. How are you today?
Well, let me just sign off with you today, Ross. I'm Jane Stahl.
And I'm Yergs.
And this has been Both Sides Now. Take care. Have a good week.
We will both see you again next week.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you again. And Sport Cat, Glenn Jackson with Sport Cat's Daily Gazette's up next. You there still? Can you hear us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yep. Jane signed off. You just sound like you're a little muffled, but I think I make you out enough.
Oh, that's odd. Okay. Sounds good here. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. I think you're a little better now. All right. So what do you got coming up? Anything good?
Oh, we've had an earthquake over the weekend. We're having alien contact coming up in another month. We've got a mysterious blob underground moving towards why the hell did that just happen? Moving towards New York City underground. So all kinds of things going on. It's
a mysterious blob moving underground. Pray tell.
Well, supposedly the earthquakes have been causing some underground volcanic lava movement. And
is that the one in Russia erupted?
Well, yeah. That's on the West Coast, affects the West Coast. Well, on the East Coast, it has broken free. Apparently, the underground lava from the Appalachia, what formed Appalachia, and it is now moving underground slowly towards the northeast, New York City. So that's
right through Pennsylvania.
yes, it will. So yeah, it's going to follow the Appalachia up. They say it probably won't stop till it gets all the way to, was it Greenland? I think, Greenland. Greenland. So interesting.
So it's going to be put out because of the ice cap, or it's going to melt the ice cap, or both.
They don't know. So I guess it's a waiting game to see. And then we have an inbound spaceship possibly, which is weird.
Find that.
That's been Congress reviewed a letter from I think it was Yale. I've got the story here, but from a professor and several other astronomers have come out. There is a object that's moving in a non-natural path. I want to say it's moving at like 35,000 light years at a time or so. I don't know. It's an incredible speed, and it's headed straight towards us. So everybody says that it could be aliens. And of course, now they're bringing back the Stephen Hawking's warning that maybe you shouldn't signal for them. We don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So they predicted it could be here by November. So I guess buy more guns, buy more bullets. I don't know if it kills aliens or not, but hey, we may not have to worry about a civil war or fighting Russians. We may all be shooting aliens.
If you find out that doesn't kill the aliens, save one for yourself.
Exactly. It'll probably be something weird that kills the aliens, like bazooka gum or something, They can't chew gum and they'll choke to death on it. That'd be something. So yeah, it's a weird weather day and a weird news day. So, and we got hurricanes brewing down in the Atlantic. So,
well, that, and I've got Reliastream to fix. I'm on limited radio right now. You might not even be able to get on anything because it's down.
Oh, well, let me test it real quick if you want.
Do you have direct connect to Dare Radio?
I don't know.
What do you log into?
I use Mix.
Yeah, but which ones do you have on your live stream?
I don't know the ones they gave me. I think it logs directly. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so go to settings.
Yeah, live preferences.
Go to options rather, not setting. Options and then preferences.
Yeah, I'm there.
And click on live broadcasting.
Yep, and they're all selected.
That list at the top, is that any for the Australian stations?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then that's all you need to worry about. Jurg's radio and such is down, but as long as you can still get to them, we're good.
Did you break it?
Possibly. I don't know if the credit card worked, and I haven't been focused on that because we're switching to Media CP. But until I finish that transition, still got to kind of use ReliaStream. So I got to see what's going on there and unfuck something. So I'll kill the radio feed.
All right. Well, just let me know what if I can do anything. I'm in Tennessee, so
yeah. No, nothing else. The other networks, I'll be giving you new feeds soon this week, probably. But I'll get ReliaStream back up and running too, just until everything is definitely fixed and transitioned properly.
Okay.
But that'll be by the end of this month at the very, very latest.
Okay.
So let me kill radio feeds. There you go. You can take it.
All right. Let's see what it comes up and shows me. It is yellow.
That's because you probably got the ReliaStreams checked.
Yes, I'm connected to Dare Talk Radio, and I'm connected to Radio X, but that is it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all you're going to get today.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, hello to my Australian family. Good morning. Well, we will be going live over on YouTube. If you want to join us there, you can come over to the Paranormal Guys, GUIZ, or just search out the Sport Cut shows and join the chat, and we'll talk about aliens, earthquakes, weather, all kinds of crazy shit. So come on.
By the way, we are doing very well in Australia, especially for being overnight.
Good. I'm glad to see people like me.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm
not used to
it. All right, man. I've already got 10 people in the chat. I got to go, brother. Love you. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. All right. Sportcat's up next. Glenn Sportcat Jackson with Sportcat's Daily Gazette. I'm out of here. I will be back tomorrow with a little bit better prep. I will not let neighbors or any other shenanigans screw up my show. All right. Thanks for getting off the porch and going on both sides now with Jane and me, and also Running with the Big Dogs. We'll see you again. Have a good week.